Okay guys, I thought I'd take you through a guided cook for my steaks, my morning steaks. So now that I'm on carnivore pretty much, almost 100%, I'd say 95% on a bad day. I start off the day with a steak from Costco. So I buy a slab of steak and then I cut it all up into probably 2 centimetre slices, and then stick them in, some in the fridge, some in the freezer, and I rotate them through as I need them. So this morning the boys, I've got 2 young boys, they're going to have some steak eat as well. So I thought I'd do up 2. Normally I just do up 1 or pick one of the thicker ones. So today we're doing the 2, and I'm just going to take you through the method that I would normally use to cook the perfect steak. As you can see, we've got a slab of butter there ready for the last sort of 30 seconds. And in my hand, or somewhere around the spot in my pocket, I've got a digital thermometer. So these things here, they're almost instant read. You sort of just poke it in and you'll see it just sort of comes up with where it's at. So pretty quickly. So that's handy to just know when it's at sort of 45 degrees. Obviously it's different steaks, different thicknesses and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed because I haven't got a GoPro at the minute. So we'll just we'll try it as we go. So if I'm fumbling around, it's not because I'm uncoordinated, it's because I'm trying to do it. So what I'd normally do is I'd sear the steak on the fatty edges just to try and melt some of the fat down. Now on this particular cut, I feel it a ribeye I think they call it. Which is, I can't remember what it is in Australia, but this is what Costco call it. There isn't too much fat on the outsides where the New York strip there is. I think New York strip is a sirloin or something like that. So obviously I don't know my meat cuts too well because I don't really care. I just buy the same thing over and over and over. So I would sear that on the outside. Normally 30 seconds, 40 seconds I do that. Same goes on that side. Now this particular time I haven't actually, normally I'd rub the meat down with olive oil and then add the salt, pepper, garlic seasoning, but in this particular case I didn't. I just did a dry rub, which has been working for me the last couple of days. So, and I'll do on there. Because we're doing 2 steaks, I'm just going to do the other one. So I normally do them at the same time, but it's going to be a bit complex today because they're different. Well, they're probably about the same thickness. It might be okay. But again, so what I've done is I've mixed up a salt, pepper, garlic rub. So I bought it just from Costco. I've got garlic powder. It's the pink salt. I think it's Himalayan rock salt. And I've got coarse pepper that I blend up together and make my own rub. I find that is better than buying it all, or it's quite expensive to have it all pre-done. If you go to the butcher and buy it, you're paying far too much to what you need. This is just perfect. It's, I use it on almost everything. It's obviously got no sugar. My whole thing is to be as sugar-free as possible, and using the fatty cuts keeps you satiated. So those who haven't been tracking it, I've actually gone down from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day. Intermittent fasting, my window is between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. So my last meal's at around 2. And then I'm intermittent fasting until the next morning at 7. All right. So obviously the pan is red hot as well, so we don't mess around. Hey Siri, set timer 3 minutes. Okay, so Siri doesn't work on here. So it's 4 minutes 45 of the camera, so we're going to do 3 minutes each side on these particular ones. They're a little bit thick, so it should be okay. Yeah, the barbecue I'm using isn't anything flash. So those that think that, because I'm on something good or, it really is average. The reason I'm doing it on a skillet is because it's easier to clean than the barbie, although it still gets pretty bogged up. But it's also a smaller heating surface. And I've gone from using the grill on the barbie to the pan, as you can see the dirty pan there, and now I'm on the skillet. I just find the skillet, because I can then add the butter, is a bit more controllable, I suppose. So we're at 4:45 before, so that's about a minute gone. And you can see the steaks are cooking away lovely. Let's get right up there. And there's a fair bit of ingrained fat in these cuts, and that's what you want, is a heavier, fattier cut of meat. You'll find that in eating this way, you actually feel full for the entire day. You won't even feel like eating. So those that think that 2 meals a day is not enough, you'll see that it'll always fill you up. Like I didn't think that I'd be able to manage before, but you certainly can. I say always keep the thermostat handy as well, just to find out where they're at. But I know that now, we're about a minute and a half in, it's probably not even 20, maybe just over 20. Yeah, not even. They're not even tickling the surface at 15 degrees. You kind of get used to how you're cooking. So at this stage, like I say, it's not even done the second side yet. 15, 20 degrees. Then it ramps up quite quickly towards the end. Again, I sort of normally have it on a timer, so I'll just tell Siri to set a timer for 3 minutes each side, or if it's a thinner cut, I'll go 2 minutes. But you'll get to know how you like your preferences as far as the steak goes. I find the New York strip, which is the other one that's available at Costco, it's a leaner meat. It doesn't keep me as full for long. So the trick definitely is to have the fattier cuts. They do taste different. They're a little bit more flavoursome, but that is the trick. So we're on about 2.5 minutes now. Almost time to turn. Hope this isn't making everybody too hungry. I do cut off, like I say, a wedge of butter each, and when I season it, so it comes out, I know that that's ready to go. And that's 3 minutes now. Well, just for argument's sake, at 3 minutes, we'll get the thermostat out. Mid-20s or early 20s. 23 to 26 is about right. And now we'll give them a quick flick over. And so the pan was nice and hot, they're already looking good. And now it's 8:15 on the timer, so we know to go to 11:15. So again, you see these ones have already got a bit of colour to them because I let the pan go, as I'm salting the steaks, I leave the pan go quite hot. You've got to be careful with these ones because the handle is actually bloody hot as well. And I leave them cook for a while. So I like it a certain way, and like I say, with New York strip, I kind of like it at, I pull them off at 51 and let them rise to 55. These ones, because they have more ingrained fat, I like the fat to really melt down. So I kind of like it to I pull it off at sort of 55 and let it go to 60. I don't even mind it a little bit more well done than that. So also with these steaks, the kids eat them as well. That's my dog, he likes it as well. There's Graham. Graham loves a steak. He always gets if there's anything too fatty, he'll get that, but he hates the phone. That's about a minute down already. And you see, I don't touch them, I don't move them about. I just do them 3 minutes aside, or until they're about 45 degrees before I put the butter on. It's been 47 already. Let's just give it a test. 37. Important to test it in different parts of the meat, because depending on what part of the meat you hit, that says 45. Oh, that might be a little bit thinner, that one. We might have had that one on for too long already. So I'm going to pull that one off. It must be slightly different thickness. I'm just going to pull it off and just try it over here. Again, you know, it's always a learning curve. Sometimes they're the same thickness and sometimes they're not. But with it, yeah, so that's at 35, 40. Yeah, so this is ready to go for sure. So normally I'd probably let that go a bit too long. So like I say, we don't always get perfection, but it's probably 2 minutes on this side. Like I say, I probably let the pan get a bit too hot today. So I'm going to pull them both off. Still quite good. Pull them both off, and then I'm going to put the butter down. So I'll just put the butter. It'll melt pretty quick. It's a nice big slab of butter. We're not afraid of fat, so you'll see the butter start sizzling away. And I'll get the meat back on. This time I'll go straight on the butter. Beautiful. And the same on this side. Oh, out the way. We'll go back to the same side we didn't have before. Sorry guys. So go for about 30 seconds, so we'll take it up to, this video's gone for 12 minutes so far, we'll take it up to 12 minutes. And then do the other side. This is just to caramelise it, get that sort of brown colour that appeals to us all. It's obviously getting quite hot as well because fat burns hotter than the oil. So very difficult to do this one-handed, guys. I'm managing okay. I'm going to give that a go because it's about right. Yeah, beautiful. Probably a little bit overdone on the second one. Again, just to get enough brown on them. Now the most important part after this is the rest. So letting them rest for 4 or 5 minutes allows the juices to sort of come out and also get secure within the meat. You can see they're all really looking pretty good. Like I say, in this particular cut, I don't even mind if it goes over and is almost well done because it just tastes so good, and the fat, the more the fat is melted, the more of the entirety of the steak you can eat. So at this particular stage, it's probably going to be about right. I reckon it's gone hot though. Like I say, I'm probably a little bit distracted because I have to record. I don't have to record, but want to record. Alright, so that's come off there. You can see they look pretty bloody good. Just going to turn this burner off. The pan is a mess, like I say. You have to sort of wait till it cools, can't touch it till later, and then clean it off. But we'll just give it a quick test and see. So that's at 62. Yeah, so that one's gone hot. Around 60. And yeah, so they have gone over. Hotter than what I'd like. But I think in this particular case, I just let them go. A little bit distracted because I've been talking. But I just let them go a bit too long. But they're still going to be delicious. You know, it's still, you know, they're going to go up to about 65 degrees, which is closer to well done, but they're going to be absolutely delicious. So now we rest and then we eat. Okay, so we've just done resting the steaks. My trusty assistant is I'm gonna pass her over to record the cutting. Like I say, I think it's probably gone a bit over, but this particular cut is going to be all right. Let me zoom back out. So there we go. Still looks delicious, right? Got a bit of a camera angle there. Whoa, yes. So over to my trusty assistant. Now, excuse me guys, because it is first thing in the morning. So I'm in my comfies. All right, so we'll slice it down the middle. Beautiful. It's a little bit overdone, but this particular cut, I'm kind of happy with it. And what I'll normally do is I'll actually cut it up for the family. So we actually all generally eat it off the chopping board, like a bunch of animals. So I'll just chop it up like that. We're using a nice sharp knife. And you'll see, so the crust on this, because of the butter, is just delicious. So that's perfect. All that fat's all edible. You'll find that the more of that you eat, the better you'll feel, the fuller you'll feel. So at this stage, like I say, I'm only eating this and one other meal a day. The other meal will probably be eggs, maybe meatballs, or maybe another steak. If there's any of this left, I'll have that. But normally, there's not a lot of this left because we eat it all. Again, not really counting our calories, so to speak. Though there's probably 1,000, I suppose, in each of these steaks or thereabouts. But we're splitting it between 4 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us, depending on how it is. Now this one's the thicker one, so it might be slightly pinker. But still, like I say, most people will eat a steak that's cooked this way. When we have our cousins over, or my nieces and nephews, we'll still have a steak. They look forward to it. See, look at that, a little bit of pink on the inside. It's quite nice. Sorry, that's the air fryer in the background, cooking some meatballs, and it's beeping a lot. But you see all of that, just delicious. Mouth is watering just looking at it. And so I'll serve it all up. We have friends over, we do the same thing. I just cut it all up like they can't cut it for themselves. Just because it's almost like a tapa's way of serving it, I guess. So, a little bit pinker on that side. Now what we'll do, I'll get the boys out, see if they want to taste it, give it a rating. They haven't been told to do in the video, so they might like to be in it. Boys, yeah. You want to come and taste this steak? Yeah. You need to, we're recording, so you have to be honest, okay, and tell people how good it is. So neither of the boys want to be in the video, so here it goes. Definitely amongst the best that I've had. Okay, just a second. Looks like Connor wants to be in the video now, maybe. Now, Connor, you coming? Quickly, come and have a taste.
Graham definitely wants to be in the video.
Actually, that's amongst the best we've had.
What's the verdict?
What do you think? How much out of 10?
A 10.
It's a 10 out of 10? Fantastic.
Thumbs up.
All right, guys.